On the last day of November 1955, when the dreaded red bell rang at Continental Air Defense Command, CONAD, headquarters, the mood in the U.S. nuclear arsenal turned grim. As the Cold War raged and Soviet warplanes roared over Alaskan airspace, the United States new Air Force Colonel Harry Shoup had good news from a secret phone. Fearful that the president might issue a four-star warning of a nuclear attack on the United States, Shoup tensed as he answered a phone call directly to the Pentagon from his command headquarters in Colorado Springs, Colorado. "Yes, Colonel Shoup," he replied in his best military tone. There was a silence, then he said again, "Sir, this is Colonel Shoup." "Nothing yet, Master, can you read me?" Shoup asked before getting an unexpected response from the boy's soft voice. "Are you really Santa Claus?" Shoup's eyes continued to scan the work center. "Who is the villain? The lethal core of America's air defenses is no place for crime, and the colonel wasn't kidding." "Can you say that again?" Shoup cried. On the other end of the phone, he heard a scared young man crying and knew it wasn't a joke. Due to some confusion, the phone's secret key has been compromised. Rather than admit he is not Santa, the 38-year-old father of four took on the role of Saint Nick and listened to his list of Christmas greetings before asking him to speak to the accused mother. The mother told the college, who died in 2009, that her son had called a phone number that appeared in a Sears Roebuck ad in a Colorado Springs newspaper. The ad contained a picture of Santa and asked you to call Santa on your personal phone at any time of the day or night. However, there was a problem with the printed phone number. Shoup's daughter Terry Van Kuren recalled, "One of his digits was wrong, it was my dad's secret phone number. And now the phone is ringing." Instead of getting a Santa waiting at Sears Toyland, kids in Colorado Springs were connected to one of the nation's most sensitive military installations. Shoup called AT&T and told them to give Sears that phone number and give him a new phone number, but this time he had to have the crew answer the phone. Van Kuren said, "Dwight D. Eisenhower created CONAD in 1954 to provide early warning of air attacks by enemies such as the Soviet Union. He sent the Allied forces to search the skies for red aerial bombs instead of red men." Shoup later told the International News Service, "Maybe there's a guy called Santa up north, but that's not what I'm worried about coming that way." However, the wrong number gave the happy idea to put the headquarters of Colorado in a Christmas mood and strain the public mood. To make their plans less terrifying to the American public, CONAD placed an ad in newspapers across the country on Christmas Eve, letting "good boys and girls" know that they are following the big red car coming from the United States. The command said initial reports from radar and ground observation stations indicated Santa was traveling at 45 knots per hour at an altitude of 35,000 feet. Also included in the statement was some information to the children that the U.S. military will protect Santa Claus and his train traveling to the United States from attacks by non-Christmas people. A clear message to the unfaithful Soviet Union and its communist allies. When Shoup visited the group to hand out cookies on Christmas Eve, he looked at the three-story map of North America that dominated the control room and saw from the man who intercepted Santa's bow coming down from the north with unknown gifts. It was seen in U.S. airspace. The idea for the Santa tracker was born on December 24, 1955, when Shoup was looking at a map. According to Van Kuren, his father was always good at public relations, so he called the local radio station and said that CONAD had spotted an unidentified flying object that looked like the car. And when other radio stations started calling to inquire about Santa's whereabouts, the Christmas tradition continued. "The calls are getting bigger and better every year," Van Kuren said of Santa's tracking efforts. Shoup was nicknamed Colonel Santa, a nickname he embraced. "He's a very strong father, but he's a child at Christmas," Van Kuren said. "She put up the decorations the day after Thanksgiving, and we were the first people I knew who had Japanese bubble candles." In 1958, after the United States and Canada joined in the country's nuclear defense, responsibility for the Santa tracker was transferred from CONAD to the North American Aerospace Defense Command, NORAD. Today, Santa Tracker is perhaps NORAD's most famous character since his star in the 1983 film War Games. Now known as NORAD Track Santa, this practice has evolved with technology and the times. In the 1960s, NORAD mailed vinyl records to radio stations containing historical reports on Santa's progress and Christmas songs from house music groups. In the 1970s, NORAD went on the air with television commercials. In the digital world, St. Nick's progress can be followed on social media, the official app for smartphones and tablets, and the NORAD Track Santa website, available in 8 languages. Starting in 2017, Amazon Echo users will be able to ask Alexa where Santa is. And I'm Royal Canadian Navy Lieutenant Marco Chenard, NORAD. More than 1,500 military and civilian volunteers from the United States and Canada, including Shoup's daughter Van Kuren, will spend Christmas Eve in Colorado Springs, answering questions from all over the world, according to Royal Canadian Navy Lieutenant Marco Chenard, NORAD spokesman. Sometimes, we've been doing this for 3 generations. It's part of the Christmas tradition, says Chenard. With more than 150,000 calls expected this year, NORAD's phones are sure to be buzzing like it was 1955. Only this time, there are no phone emergencies.